So I've heard a saying made up by myself that
That's a good person to make
two Daves make a right, and every David's got a bit of Beckham, which was my saying before I'd go and shank a kick at school, trying to like build up my hype. We're joined by David Clarke. Thank you so much for coming through.
Thanks.
You have a wealth of knowledge I'm dying to tap into, and I really appreciate you taking the time to come here today and share
Oh, great. Thanks. Looking forward to it.
a few pages from the past, maybe a couple of the present, and some predictions of the future. I don't want to butcher your intro at all, so if you would maybe just give us a little bit of background, your relationship with cycling, and a little bit of an origin story.
Sure. Okay. Background of cycling. I think I started pretty much when I moved to Cape Town from Durban in the mid-'80s. My dad got transferred here. I think cycling, my first intro was a friend at school said to me, "Come, we're going to do the Argus." I was like, "What's that?" He was like, "No, it's the cycling race." I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." I was in standard 9 at the time. That's grade 11. And yeah, we did a few little rides, and I rode my school bike, did the thing. I can't remember what I did that for. I think 4 and a bit hours I did. Anyway, then I kind of chucked I didn't put the bike away. It was my school bike. I rode it to school every day. That was that. Never thought about it again. Did it again the next year. And that was only like at the end of matric, my one friend and his sister were like, "Okay, we're going to go do a fun ride." I was like, "You look so keen. Like, what's this all about?"
Yeah.
Anyway, and then she beat me in the fun ride, and then I was pissed off. I was pissed off. So then I was like, okay, I need to actually get faster. And then I went and got a bike and I rode with him, and I got gradually into it. And then once I got to university, then I joined the cycling club, rode. I thought I was a racer in those days, or if you ask anyone from that era, I probably don't classify as a racer. I think I was thinking on the way here, what's my best cycling achievement? I was like,
what's your claim to fame?
Well, finishing twice in the top 100 of the Cape Town Cycle Tour is not exactly anything to be.
Put it on my palmarès because I don't have it.
Oh, jeez. It was like in the early days, so the top 100 wasn't actually that tricky then. Actually, I suppose my claim to fame from cycling is I have managed to win 2 Killarneys. Okay. Well, the one I started in the middle group, and like I hang on to the.
How long has that Killarney been going?
Jeez, it's been going since forever. Since I started, It's been going on and off. It's like it had a different operator in the early days. Monty Dye used to run it.
Yeah. What's the early days? Just frame that for me.
Like around about 1990. I mean, I was doing it since, as far as I know, it existed since the late 80s, maybe even before.
Crazy. I wouldn't have guessed that.
Yeah, so
I've said that a lot in the few minutes I've been chatting. Like it's
so, and then I suppose I rode a bit. I came where I really got involved in the admin side of cycling was I came back and I looked at my certificate the one year from the Argus, and I was like, this is such cuck, like the positions don't even add up. It's like, no, man, this is rubbish. So I went and moaned to David Belez, and he's like, "Well, you know how you're going to fix it?" I was like, "Me? What do you mean, me fix it?" He's like, "No one else is going to fix it." I was like, "What? I'm just like a new oak starting out in life here." He was like, "Well, you need to come help out." And then gradually over time, I got more involved. I didn't start it, actually, that came from him as well. The first electronic timing company timing cycling races, which was Winning Time. I took over that operation, and then gradually I became more and more involved in the cycle tour and PPA, and basically I ended up doing the IT
fair
stuff.
To say you're very entrenched in the back office of.
Yeah, I like to say I lack ambition. I'm still in that.
Well, you
job.
say that, but you're the one that figured out the.
Yeah.
Did you fix the issue on the certificates?
Yeah. That's
How long did it take you?
I don't know. It was just a case of writing the calculation to like do the positions correctly.
Okay.
No, that wasn't tricky. Probably the most useful bit I did was writing the seeding algorithm that we use to calculate.
You wrote the seeding algorithm.
Yeah. So
could you distill it in a sentence?
Well, it's basically, I suppose you're trying to give everyone a rating from 0 to 100, where 0 is the oak who's winning the Argus Cape Town Cycle Tour now, and 100 is a person doing double that time. So try and get everything into, but then also for like some races are flat, some are hilly, so you want to give the hilly ones better credit, the flat ones less credit, and so basically trying to do a calculation on every single race you do to make it fair, that the number you get out of that is an accurate reflection of your ability.
That is quite something. Well done.
Yeah. So
Did you make that up yourself? Did you draw on any international?
No, I don't think there was any international.
No precedent for it.
No, so the precedent was being calculated, but it was in the probably, when is it? I think it was probably in the early 90s. It was already being done, but it was only done for the August Cycle Tour, and it wasn't. You basically used last year's August Cycle Tour, not even the previous year's one, and they checked your result, and it was divide by the winner's time, work out that. So the index, the calculation hasn't changed, but the being able to adjust it to be fair, it's changed over time.
How much is that being adjusted present day?
No, so I mean, it's every single, it's
any race that's a seeding race, there's...
Well, any race at all, actually.
And there's components of the algorithm that you're changing based on elevation,
I mean, the thing that
distance.
As we were discussing, so it actually just looks at the performance of everyone who did any particular race versus anyone who did Cape Town Cycle Tour, and compares how on average they did relatively, and then adjusts it accordingly. Bit of a linear regression using my stats, my university stats, probably first year only.
Love how all these things you did got merged into the cycling rabbit hole. Now I'm trying to think of any common seeding complaints that I hear. Like,
the main seeding complaint is that people just don't have, and that's probably the topic that you want to get onto, is that there aren't enough events, because in the old days, so what I mentioned earlier, so the year I came back from working overseas, I did 26 fun rides, 26 in a year, and that's just the fun rides.
Where did you check that?
I was a bit of a nerd in those days. I used to keep a logbook. My wife bashed that out of me. I was like, other people are all like parat with their recording.
Got a logbook of your rides in here.
I'm like, I'll save it on Strava and I'll forget about it. So I can't be bothered after that. No, in those days it was all written down. She'll still slag me
Events, time.
So I did 26 of those things in 1 year, and that's not counting the license races in addition.
So I have no idea, as a cyclist today of 3 or 4 years, what a fun ride is. So could you?
No.
I've never. We do vibes where we get together and we'll go ride something. That to me would be a fun ride.
No. So it's a race.
For this misled generation that doesn't know what a fun ride is.
No, I mean, it
could just be me.
Well, I suppose Derby Dash. That's a fun ride. Okay, they kind of merged over the years to having a license component, but in the early days, like around about 1990 or before, and even for a bit afterwards, a fun ride would have just seeding into, like, according to ability, into seeded groups, and there was no license. So like if you rode in the front group, there was no prize money, no nothing, but the oaks in the front group are still going to race.
I was going to say, Derby Dash for me is a flat-out race. When you say fun ride, I'm imagining...
Yeah, but like you need to have a license to go in the front group now. Like in those days, it was, you want to do a license race, you go do the license race. There's rules there. Here, you can wear what you like, you do what you like. There's no teams. There's no team vehicles in those days.
So is that the distinction between a fun ride and a fun ride?
In those days, it was.
Rules, race attire... all that kind of stuff.
I mean, Pedal Pass still had the rules, same kind of rules that you like keep left and you get disqualified, and you got, actually, I'm trying to think when results. Was
it just like a mentality difference of I'm doing a fun ride? I'm not, are you still going there to bury yourself?
It was still a race for me. But I was what you would call a fun rider. You know, I couldn't win a license race, so I think the best I ever managed in a license race was third. So
which is above average.
Well, it was like, the day before something big, and I managed to get on someone good's wheel when he went on a break, and I just begged him to not drop me. And
my only claim to fame is one sprint point on the Pure Savage Loop on a Tuesday from about 5,000 attempts. Once in my life, I've won the sprint point. That's
Probably couldn't do that anymore because I
you must come on a Tuesday
pull a
and find out.
muscle. No, I mustn't do it yet. I need to actually do some speed work to.
That sounds like someone who's serious.
I used to be, yeah.
So fun rides, you did an enormous amount in a year. So you mentioned it's a topic.
No, so
that I wanna
like
get
literally in spring and summer there was one every single weekend. In summer you would have a northern suburbs fun ride on the Saturday and a southern suburbs fun ride on the Sunday. Now that is something you probably don't even know the concept of. So southern suburbs fun ride does not exist.
A southern suburbs ride is so where we got onto this topic. So Brendan, Pure Savage, Brendan was, we were sitting doing his interview, and he was talking about, like, so how did it start, and his, what is your relationship with cycling? Saying, like every other weekend I was, at the races with my mom and dad, and, we were here and they'd race, and you'd like kind of wait at the tents, and like conversation was just going, and I was like, wait a minute. Every weekend, you were at races with your family in, the Commons, Bosch, whatever. It's like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
You raced bicycles
his story
in the southern suburbs.
Yeah, his story sounds the same as my wife's story. She also went with her parents every weekend.
Just dirk tangents about, like, what have we lost here? Like, what do you remember about that? It had nothing to do with racing a bike. He went with his family to an event. There was big chaos afterwards. People got together, and this like epiphany started to unravel. Like, what is the average family lost as a result of there not being cycle races? Because it's kind of, and then it's, Brendan's was like, I know a guy. You should speak to.
He's just old. He's just been around and seen what it was like back then.
So I think a lot of people watching this will have one of two reactions, like, oh yeah, I remember those days. And the other will be like, what are these guys talking about? Like races in the southern suburbs. People have been telling me they used to race over oak-harps, and it's like, can't imagine it. So there was always a shitstorm around it, because there was always some traffic problem, because some idiot would decide he needed to ride in the middle of the road up Oak-Harpseweg when the thing's open, and that would cause problems. But didn't toe the line.
The event still happened then, and it was literally not so much in the spring season, but in summer, literally every single weekend from mid-January to the weekend before cycle tour. It was Saturday northern suburbs, Sunday southern suburbs, and there was lots. There was lots of different routes.
I suppose I'd love to hear the routes, would be probably blow my mind, but I suppose some of the sort of structural questions around this is who made that happen?
So
how complex is that, I suppose?
So the Pedal Power had a really, really good system in those days. They had, it sounds very basic, but it was pretty organized. They had a trailer with stuff, and they would rent this trailer out with I'm probably leaving out a few details here, but you would have a spot on the PPA calendar, which was a printed a Z-fold thing that got posted to all the Pedal Power members with a list of all the events coming up. And so your event would be on there, and then you would pay some other amount to have the use of this trailer. And it had the seated, those the little A-frames that you fold out, and one would have A and then B, C, and distance to go markers and bibs for the marshals. And they'd rent that, and so Rotary clubs, Lions clubs, schools, all sorts of charity organizations. It wasn't like one, there were many, many different organizations doing it, and they were all making money out of it in those days. So they did it, and Pedal Power's role in that was just to dish out the infrastructure. And it worked. It was great. But then gradually over time, I think things got more expensive, and so some of them just weren't making money. They worked out, hold on, we can organize a golf day. It's a lot less effort than trying to organize marshals and fight with the traffic police and blah, blah, blah. So they started doing that. And then gradually, even the bigger ones started running into problems. So the southern suburbs problems became, I suppose the biggest problem with the southern suburbs was when Chappies got closed to do the rebuild from like 2000 to 2004. And then it was closed. And then you couldn't have any fun rides because there's only Oudtshoornweg and Main Road Boys Drive going to the south. And you can't have one of those closed. Well, actually, you kind of need to have both of them closed for one ride because you're going out on the one and back on the other. And then trying to get, once those things were off the calendar, it was difficult to get them back on.
Okay.
But I mean, there were other problems around that time that just made it more expensive in general.
Cost, which is something I've heard. So I'm obviously recently moved here from Joburg, where there was a race, if you were lucky, one a month in certain months of the year. Move here, and it's like, what do you want? XCO, gravel, road. There's so much. To me, there's so much racing in Cape Town. But I speak to, people that have been riding for much longer than I, and that are, as I like to call, purebred Cape Townians. They go back. They've got generations. I always say, if you got the Bishop's yearbook on your coffee table, then you've been stamped as a purebred, which I've seen, and top of the hat.
It's actually
and they're like, no, like
the Investec bank account that goes with the
that's like a given though. That's easy to come by. It's the yearbook that's tough. And they like, no, there's so much less than there used to be, and it's a lot less. The races that are there, predominantly northern suburbs, are a absolute like shell of their former selves. It's not the family thing. I was like, what do you mean the family thing? I can't imagine a world where there's this big family thing built around a cycle race.
It was easy to get to a fun ride. I mean, so if you're thinking like the pure, as you call them, the purebred Cape, the ones that need to have the mountain nearby. I haven't quite developed that yet. My children might have it. They would. I kind of got into that. You roll out of bed on a Sunday morning. I mean, the one fun ride, I remember it started about like 500 meters from my front door. So I was like, well, I actually need to go for a longer warm-up ride because I'm not being warmed up enough before I get there. But otherwise, you would ride 5Ks to the start, anywhere in the southern suburbs. And
from home, you just ride out.
From home. Yeah. Getting in a car, what a lust. Why would you want to do that?
And did the community come out and support with people on the roads? Like, or not really?
It wasn't. The bizarre thing, although the events have dwindled, I actually think there's more people riding regularly now, like recreational riding, than there were back then on a regular basis, which I don't know, I might be mistaken, but certainly like not top level, but like people that are actually like they're going for a ride, they're going cycling with their mates. That I definitely feel there are more people doing that currently than there were back then.
It's interesting.
It's just back then.
I have no reference points. I was like, I don't know.
So I mean, obviously on the day when there was a fun ride, you'd see lots of people. But
what's a lot? What would you guesstimate?
Oh, what? How many were doing fun rides?
Yeah.
Average fun rides would be doing between 1,000 and 2,000.
What?
Yeah.
No, man.
In summer, yeah. The ones in the southern suburbs, definitely. Yeah.
Oh, there's nothing like that. It's completely. So what is, when we talk about cost, what are the costs? Like, what is it? If you want to put on a road race, if I wanted to do a road race in the southern suburbs and I said money was no object, I had a big backer, want to put one on, what would the,
your first thing is getting permission from the city for anything.
So Jordan. Hey, Jordan, we want to put on a race. Does he have to sign off on it?
No, he does. Well, hopefully it doesn't have. Well, it might help, but you actually need to go through Cape Town's
council members.
Cape Town's no. There's departments for everything. You should probably get a logistics department in here to explain exactly how it works. But basically, there's a formal structure you've got to go through to do your application, which I think in the old days was just you wrote a letter and requested some police officers, whereas now everything's done in accordance with the Event Act, which I think that came in about 2010, where there's shit that can go wrong, and if it goes wrong, who's going to jail? And here's your level of you get ranked in terms of how what risk category your event is. So if it's small, it's probably low risk, and then you only have to do this and that.
Small in terms of number of people.
Yeah, but then the bigger it gets, it's medium or high risk, and depending on where it is, then there's police assigned to it. There's an operations center that has to that you have to put staff in and pay for the police and the disaster management crew and the ambulances to have staff. And it spirals into a very, very big cost. As your
when you
event
see those
gets bigger,
policemen out on the day, someone's paying for that.
someone's paying for that, yeah.
It's not,
and they're not.
It's not the local government
it's not,
saying, we want this, we'll put it on.
And they're not paying discount rates unless there's a special arrangement with the city.
Do you have any idea what an event might cost? Like ballpark? Like just, I can't imagine.
I mean, it depends what level you're doing it. I mean, like a cycle tour is like tens of millions.
If it was like a smaller, like a fun ride, a 50K fun ride.
Literally depends. I actually don't know for a road ride currently because I haven't tried one recently. But you'd have to pay for a policeman at every single intersection. So, and that's however many 100 Rand an hour times however many hours, and it won't be how many hours you say that you think they need to be there, or how many hours they tell you that they're going to be there in case, because of what it'll be like your event starting at this time, ending at that time. You'll go, but the main bunch is through, you don't need to worry. It's like, no, that's not how it's
the last person rolls.
It'll be when they'll build in a bit of safety margin, contingency, which is not a contingency, it's a punishment, because so there's those costs, there's the ambulance costs, all the medical, you'd have to have a doctor well, I suppose it depends. I mean, the medical rollout for cycle tours is absolutely massive. But I mean, a normal fun ride, you still have to probably have, depending on the level, you'd have to have at least some levels of paramedics and or doctor. I think most you probably still have to have a doctor physically being the race doctor making calls. Like, okay, send an ambulance there, do that. It was like, in the old days, it was like, someone's crashed. Like, where? I was like, can you get him here? Can you take him to hospital? It's I
suppose it's good in many ways, but also a big hindrance.
It is good, but I don't think it's just a South African thing. I think worldwide, I speak to various people, they don't have small, I mean, I call it small, like a fun ride of 1,000 to 2,000 people. They don't have that in like Europe or Australia, because the legal, I think the threat of being sued for things going wrong is just too massive, and people can't know who's taking that risk.
A running race almost every weekend on roads, thousands of people. And that's where I look at it, I'm like, how are they doing it so well? But they have a small run. Has 5,000 people in attendance, so maybe they have the numbers.
You can be more compact, and you can get people through a route quicker. So I think there's less roads that need to be closed, but it's still the.
Still have to have the medics, still have to have the police.
The same problems, but I suppose the medics you're not really dealing with crash problems. You're dealing with heart attack and cramp. Doesn't get me started on cramp. As far as I'm concerned, cramp's not a medical issue.
Depends who's having the cramp.
If we got more time at the end, I'll tell you what I think cramp really is, because I'm a serial cramper. I'm like, no.
Well, now you have to tell me what you think cramp is.
No, no one knows what cramp is, but when people try to treat it as take them to the medical tent, I'm like, just. No, okay, can you see what muscle's cramping there? Yeah, don't worry, the medics will sort it out. No, they won't, bring him here. It's like, okay, no, not even. It's like stretch whichever one is cramping, and then you sort it. I remember one guy, once we were at Two Oceans, and this guy on the finish line collapsed, and I can't remember, his hamstring or something. And so I figured this out, and I stretched it out, and the medics arrive, and like, okay, we take him away. And so I'm like, but you need to hold his leg. And I'm like kind of bending his toes backwards in the air. And the medic's like, don't worry, it's fine. We'll take him to... And he's like, don't let me go. He's like begging me not to let the medics take him. So I think...
When you let go to that?
Yeah. Then he was like, eventually they wouldn't let me into the medical tent. I was like, oh, sorry, dude. It's like, you're on your own.
So you really do get involved, eh?
No, it's like some events when you're standing on the finish line, you like see things going.
I'd like to go and see the comrades finish line. That looks like a war zone.
Yeah, that'll be a war zone. And also, like, if you're there right at the end, then it's chaos, because then everyone's emotional and crying and like almost making it, not making it. That's real stuff. Actually, you have reminded me of my one finish line story. So some years, So you're acquainted with the southeaster in Cape Town. You've been here long enough to experience that. But
Nearly took my house away last night.
depending on whether it's like south-southeast or east-southeast, it's just a very subtle difference in it. The finish line at the Cape Town Cycle Tour is either a headwind or a tailwind.
Based on that slight.
Just a slight difference, okay? So, and no one knows exactly what it is, but in a year when it's a headwind, all shit goes down on the finish line because people get to the finish and they stop pedaling. And what do you do when you stop pedaling? You either freewheel if it's a downhill or a tailwind, or you come to a halt. So people come to a halt. So basically the finish line just got clogged up. So, and I knew the 1 year you basically had to take 10 minutes to get across the finish line. So I was like, not while I'm here is that shit happening, okay?
People would slow down.
Well, you just
up
stop
to the
pedaling.
finish line,
No, you stop pedaling. So you stop pedaling and then you stop after the finish line. Then the oaks coming up behind you are like they can't get past. So it just clogs up over the finish line. So I was like, after that happened the 1 year, I'm like, no, screw this. I'm going to stand here. If I see that happening, I'm going to push them. So he's like, so you like stand there on the finish line and the guy's like, you can see he's like starting to cramp or something. So you just run up to him and push him. And he's like, oh. Anyway, after doing this for a bit, like at some point you can't keep up and oaks start stopping. So then you start pushing them really hard if you see they're about to stop. And the one auntie just took a swing at me.
Guaranteed she was a volley.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
That is hilarious. Did you dodge it?
She got me a glancing blow. She was sitting on a bike. She couldn't hit me that hard.
That is ridiculous.
So, but we kept it clean. We don't. I think the fear for me was like, David, can you adjust everyone's time by somewhere between 0 and 10 minutes, depending on how long they got stuck on the finish line? I was like, no, I'm not having that. I will push them.
I didn't even think about that.
That's
squarely your problem.
I thought about that when that was my job the previous year. It was like, I'm not doing that again. Everyone told me my calculation was wrong. So obviously it's wrong. It was a guess. What am I supposed to do?
What's the most bizarre thing you've had to do as far as that stuff's concerned? Any like real off-the-wall humdingers?
Yes, there's been. I had to make lots of bizarre adjustments. Like, I mean, the 1 year the seeding calculation completely screwed up because for the racing guys, it was an absolutely howling southeaster, like almost as bad as the year that got cancelled, 2017. It was almost that bad. It was 2010, and then the afternoon was perfect. So all the people that I usually used as the bulk for calculating what the parameters must be for the seeding all had cuck times, and all the oaks at the back were like, it was a lovely day.
Gassing.
And so eventually I can't actually remember what I did that year, but I generally do not ever cheat the parameters of the seeding. I trust the formula I've written. I trust it. People go, what do you do? What do you do to allow for this? I was like, it works it out itself. But the 2010, I was like, this is not working. I can't put everyone
Which
in
would have affected the following year.
Yeah. Okay. So I had to abandon. But we've had dodgy cheats.
We've had. Give me an example of someone cheating. How would they on like cycle tour?
Yeah.
How the hell do you cheat on cycle tour?
Oh, you just don't do the route.
Yeah.
We had what the 1 year these guys were quite organized. They did the start, they then skipped went to somewhere down south. Actually, there was a checkpoint at halfway. They went over the halfway checkpoint, and then they missed all the other checkpoints and got back to the finish. But like they had basically skipped.
Yeah.
Skipped
some of the timing maths.
Yeah. And then, I mean, there's people who
that's
just
fairly
skip
obvious then.
Well,
to try and be
some
funny
people,
or to try and actually win?
No, not even to win, just to like do a good-ish time.
Oh, no, man.
Yeah, no, there's lots of those. The only way you actually get to find out is because some friend of them busts them. So it's like, I think that oak, and then you go and check. Then you actually go and check the timing maths, and you're like, unusual that it read there but not there. Okay, and that time from there to there
for people to miss a timing math.
Yeah. It's never 100%. But once you suspect something's wrong, you can quickly spot, and then you're like, oh yes, he's pretty fast between those two checkpoints, or pretty slow between those two, and made it up. Oh, how did he make that up?
Yeah.
So Oh,
I can't imagine anyone would do that. That's the most
No,
bizarrely
you had-
stupid thing on earth.
no. I mean, well, I mean, and not, yeah, not. You
Just
kind
for
of
that race
understand,
tech
like,
report.
kind of understand, like, taking drugs to win, to be world champion kind of level, but just
for that race tech time. Check my export.
Yeah, it's not even like some of them. They're not even doing a sub-3. They're just, I don't know, just
Yeah, I can't even begin to wrap my head around that.
yeah.
Going back to those events, I don't want to harp on about it, but I think it's important people know how many there used to be, and that someone makes a concerted effort to make more of them happen. And I suppose the reason would be, well, why? I find personally, cyclists, even runners to a degree, there's an increasingly bigger wedge being put between them and everyone else, as if people that cycle and run are not humans. Like, we're all still South African. We all still cheer for the Springboks.
Yeah.
The moment you put that lycra on, the moment you lace up those shoes, it's like, enemy.
Well,
that's the weirdest thing.
And in summer, it's definitely that way, because I think we just there's just so many people riding bicycles that you can't all be. Someone's going to be a doos.
And also, and
then you've got some motorists who are being idiots as well. So
they generally converge. You get a really bad motorist and a really bad cyclist.
Once you get but then they meet each other, and then the motorist will take it out on the cyclist that's doing nothing that he saw after that.
Yeah.
And then you're like, well, why are you picking on me? But actually,
and do you think that dynamic plays out at all in terms of affecting, like, a government, a municipality, or whatever, wanting to make a race happen?
But I think it's actually just like the areas where we used to do it have become, like, Cape Town's got this. I mean, I've just been told secondhand that they've got a policy of densification, which is, rather than try to build stuff further out, try where there's space in an urban area, try and densify that, because you can fit more people in there, then you don't have to worry about the transport of getting them in. So there's definitely more.
Never mind the transport in and around that area.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, it's all I mean, but they are doing stuff to. I mean, also that's also not really my area of expertise. They are doing stuff to try and improve transport in the inner areas, but. I don't know how.
Damned if you do, damned.
I don't know how you can run an event in the busy areas. So, like, a lot of, like, the southern suburbs ones would start at. So I'll give you an example of where the rides used to go, because you haven't asked me that bit yet. A lot of them would start at Constantia Village. Go. This actually seems ridiculous.
I mean, already I'm like, no.
They would go over Constantia Neck. Actually, we're thinking
road
how
closure?
No.
No, man, that's insanity.
That was worse than that. You would be going down Constantia Neck into Hart Bay, and I remember thinking at one point, there are 3 oaks abreast over the centre line, and we're coming up for the blind corner. What are these oaks doing? It isn't actually surprising that eventually someone did die in the one race, and I think that got used as an excuse for a while to just allow less events. But that wasn't.
That is an insane.
Yeah, but that's not actually what the main problem was. The main problem was that the roads just became generally busier, and you couldn't. And also, once Chapman's Peak was closed, then you couldn't go over Chapman's Peak in any structured way. And so then it was only Oudtshoorn and Boys Drive. But anyway, I mean, I think that the standard route would be Constantia Neck, Chappies, and then either Oudtshoorn. So some of them were quite short, like 40 Ks, or they'd do Black Hill and then round and back. They would be like 50 or 60. Or the really long ones would go round past the entrance to Cape Point and then back. And sometimes they hoid Red Hill. And the nastiest one was the Cape Cobra. That used to do Red Hill and then the Marine Hill up through the military base. And then
I can't imagine people racing up there. That must have been so epic.
They eventually finished it on top of Black Hill, but I think for a while we did. The main one ended at the top of Oudtshoorn, the Cape Cobra, and it was like 90 something.
Where would it have ended? Like on one of those?
No, at like just before the top.
Going up into the reserve.
No. Oh, that would have been great, but no. Yeah. No, just like on the road. No, you could never get permission for the reserve. Going into the reserve would have been really cool.
Imagine finishing a race on Oudtshoorn. So we cycle over it now to come back here in the mornings on the Savage Loop.
I never go over Copse anymore. I fear death.
It's the safest road.
Really?
You've got this huge shoulder. Well, your alternative is you come Chappies, and you then go through Fishhook, which is fine. But the moment you're getting onto Fishhook, go through on that main road between Fishhook, Kalk Bay, Insanity. Shoulder. I got hit by a car going between Fishhook and Kalk Bay. Early in the morning, wasn't even that congested. There's nowhere to move.
Yeah, no, you can't.
Cops, they've now cleared away.
Yeah.
You've got this big shoulder.
I suppose on the Takai side, it's fine going up because there's a big shoulder. But I don't think going up.
Cops both sides. You've got a big emergency lane on both sides.
Both sides?
Yeah.
Okay. I just worry.
Unbelievably, that is now, at least as far as I'm concerned, the safest way to get back over.
Okay, I wouldn't have...
So there's an increasing number of people going over there.
Okay.
Because your alternative is Kalk Bay.
Well, my method through Kalk Bay, which is actually, this will sound bizarre, but what I think is the safest through Kalk Bay is if you're on your own, you can't do it in a group.
Yeah.
If I'm on my own, I'll try and get behind a car that I can see through their back windscreen and through their front windscreen and see whether they're braking and whether there's anything in the road. Yeah. And I'll sit as close behind them as I can, because that way I'm not hindering the traffic and I'm not making any risks to myself.
Yeah.
And then I'll ride through like that.
Yeah.
Then I tell my wife afterwards, "What? You slipstream in the car?" I was like,
"It's only one day safer than your wife."
No, safer than sitting on the left there.
Yeah, it's crazy, and it is. So I guess races in the southern suburbs are just a thing of the past. I mean, it's just not going to happen again.
The only way you could do them now is if you went just did the southern loop, like Fishhook, Simonstown, Scarborough, Cormicky,
which no one's looking like they're going to do. What are people missing out on that on cyclists? What is if you had to hazard a guess, thinking back to your early days, drawing on Brendan's experience as a kid, are people missing out? Should there be more motivation to try and bring these back in the interest of families, communities getting together?
The other thing that's different now is you've got so many different things you can do. So I think when I started, people would do that as a family because what constituted an event was something that someone had publicized somewhere, which wasn't easy to do. Like Pedal Power had that way of publicizing a group of events, so people knew about that. But like anything else had to be really big, or you'd got to, like a newspaper or a radio station had to be behind the thing in quite a big way for it to be noticed. Whereas now I would put an event on Facebook, right? Make an event on Strava. It's like anything, you can make anything into an event these days and publicize it 100 different ways with social media. And so I don't think for a family, there's 101 other things that don't involve a bicycle that they would rather do than, but you're right, it is a pity because that's how lots of, quite a few people had Brendan's experience of going with their parents, and it was a social thing.
It feels sad. It will predominantly be lost.
The other thing that's
forever.
The other thing that has unfortunately killed it off is this for me was an eye opener coming to Cape Town as an external kind of, but at an earlier age than you did. There were just bicycles everywhere. Everyone rode to school. So, in the southern suburbs, there were just bike paths and kids going to school on their bikes. The thought of parents lifting their kids to school was why would you do that?
Yeah, so I can't even begin to.
Whereas now, it's I don't think they even have bike sheds at schools anymore. So all those people from my generation who you had a bike. You might not have raced a bike, but you had a bike. So to do what was the Argus in those days, you just did it because everyone had a bike.
Got on a bike.
Just got on. It's the once a year thing that everyone did. Yeah. And that's kind of the sad thing is that's not there anymore.
So I'm still in my early phase of loving cycling and very, very cognizant of the difference that's made on my life. How much longer I'll live and how much happier I'll live. So I have this burning fire to try and.
I think we kind of need to find a way to do other types of events that don't require a permission. You know, we still, I think we're still in the mindset of an event is an organized thing on a specific day at a specific time, because a specific person has given permission for you to be on that road. Whereas, I don't know, maybe we can do things like, I mean, I suppose Strava's kind of done that. You know,
it's an event a month ago with the nutrition brand that we work with, 226s, and that was 100 cyclists, and which landed up on the day to be about 80 cyclists and about 30 runners.
Yeah.
And that group went around and basically did the reverse of Argos. So it was 122.26 Ks.
Yeah.
Bring it back to the name of the brand. And it was, I mean, anecdotal and social media feedback was phenomenal. It wasn't a race. There was some banter. There were some oaks that went off on the front, and we had to stop off on chappies and one of those side things. And there were more than one occasion where a buddy came past on the hooter for like a whole 2 minutes that he was inconvenienced, which you get.
Sometimes inconvenienced.
But on the whole, it was, it was community. It was all those things. It didn't have family though. It didn't bring that into the mix. And that's, I don't know. I think there's a lot of that happening. I was looking just this morning, whenever, I follow Chevita and a few others, and just like my feed was just new event. They seem to be everywhere. So there are lots of events happening where you can get together with like-minded people in your community and you can go run. The Versus has the out and back. So there's all these things, but they seldom involve, I don't know, they feel very elitist. They're not a family getting together and let's go and do this thing. And it's, maybe I'm reading into the nostalgia when I'm hearing people talk about it, but I don't see that.
I just think like, because there's so many other non-cycling things, just different things for families to do, it's easier to do. I don't know, you just read. In the old days, if cycling was the thing that you knew about, then that was the default. Whereas now, you just open, I don't know, oldies, I suppose, open a Facebook feed and go, what are we doing today?
What is a family?
I don't know, mom might, and when the kids are young.
Because you want, there's something different about going, to do a cycle with your family. I don't know. Bike is different. I do think it's different. I think the connection that you can, and the common ground that you'll have there is totally different to we went to Stellenbosch and had a picnic as a family.
Yeah. No, you're right. It definitely is. My experience with my children has been a bit, my son showed no interest in bicycles, and my daughter was...
Does he ride his bike to school?
No, he didn't ride his bike to school. No, so he's at university now. So
how did he get off of riding his bike to school?
It was already when he was at school, it wasn't a thing. Yeah. So that's no. I mean, look, it's the same.
It's been gone.
Would your kids have ridden to school in Joburg?
That's a different story.
No, so I think it
depends on what arm they can be.
Yeah, but you see, it's not that different.
Yeah, we tried.
There's still the
100%.
There's still the traffic danger which didn't exist when I was younger. So I don't think people generally want their kids to ride to school. So we certainly never even encouraged that. And my daughter would only do it if she was getting an ice cream at the end of it. So most of my other friends did. It's called DAKAR. Have you heard of it?
No. Other than the obvious DAKAR.
Dads and Kids Argus is what it was, but now the Argus, it's not incorrect name. That you renamed it to Dads and Kids Are Riding. I think it is now. Argus Ride. It was Dads and Kids Argus Riders. Anyway, it's now Dads and Kids Are Riding. But basically, a group of dads would ride with their kids on a tandem to get them into the thing.
Lekker,
and a lot of my
Brendan does quite a bit of stuff. Not Sam, but he rides with his boys. They ride to school.
Brendan, I think Brendan asked me to bend every single rule under the sun. It's like, my son's ready to ride. The minimum age is 11, Brendan, on a tandem. Now, he's 6, but he's ready to do the long route.
What's the most bizarre thing Brendan's asked you to do?
Jeez.
Are you allowed to say?
No, I'm trying to think what it is.
How incriminating would it be?
I think I've forgotten.
An interesting question. Has Brendan ever asked you to help him with seeding
for
a particular race that we all take very seriously at the end of the year?
No. That would not make him special, okay?
Okay, let me refine the question. How much has he begged you to make said?
No, he has, but that doesn't make him special, because for that event, I think roughly half the teams come with some story. And
So we're talking about the double century for anyone who is.
Oh, yes. Sorry. Yes. Yeah, I mean, for double century, and it's a bit different. That one's a bit different to every other event because I've got a combination of 12 people trying to do a particular time, and they're either trying to convince you that they're faster than. Normally, everyone's just trying to convince you they're faster than they are. But in the double century, they're trying to convince you both ways. So some are trying to make you tell you they're faster, some slower.
So that is actually a really good. We'll transition away from our idealistic family cycling conundrum of the world. The DC, in my opinion, is the greatest road race ever. There is nothing that comes close to me than that, competing at that race. It's the only time you have the chance to punch above your weight. A road race here, at least as long as I've been riding, a batch race, I was sitting there the one down the start line. Alan Hatley was next to me. I'm like, what the fuck?
I do remember that. I remember that him, a few times to me.
And Pritzen. And I'm like, I don't belong here.
What am I going to do here?
Back there. Like, this is not where I should be.
Yeah.
And I mean, I wish you were there then so I can understand what did I do that I'm being punished with this seating. And at DC, last year in particular, we went full guns blazing, get the best we can. So we had on the one side, Felix, who races overseas, Mark Pritzen, Carl Mitchell, Gustav, who's raced at DMS, a whole nother kettle of fish in capability compared to the rest of the team. Still people that have trained hard. It was the strongest I've ever been. Sean Newbury, myself, blah blah blah. And I sat and I thought, like, how does this get seeded? How on earth do you balance this equation? So what is officially, how is that seeding worked out?
Geez, double century is a bit tricky. So what I do to start with is I just take the best 4 riders on the team. Because often, that's the other thing that's different about that, is people get imports who you've got no results for. Like, who is this Finn Fisher Black riding from...
Jasper Stuyven, I've seen him somewhere.
That ID number doesn't match with anything on our system, but I suspect they'll go quite fast. Anyway, so we take the top 4 in each team, and then just take an average of those 4, and then rank everyone accordingly. But then,
so you're paying the price of your top 4.
Yeah. But now on top of that,
results you're pulling are any race that's linked to
anything we've got.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but now obviously for DC, that just...
and that pushes you further, because obviously DC, the major benefit is you want to start behind whoever you're competing against.
Yeah.
Which Mother seems to have perfected as a fine art.
Well, to a point. You see, for proper racing teams, you want to start behind them so that you know what they're doing, because no one's slipstreaming each other. But I think further forward in the field...
Brought up the S word.
Further forward in the field, and maybe not entirely only further forward in the field, there's all sorts of shenanigans or other words that start with an S going on.
Is there any race that compares in terms of the post-race whinging for drafting to that?
No, it's
is there anything? Because
the post-race whinging is just for the kings of the Atlantic seaboard. It's purely for that. No, okay. And also, no. Or whoever came second. And it's different every year.
Oh my gosh. Does anyone take it seriously on the admin side?
Well, we do, but I mean, you can only...
kind of, surely.
You can only... No, I mean, look, I'm probably... Because I've raced, okay. Like,
hey, you came third. You stood on a podium, it counts.
I'm not sure we had a podium that day. Anyway, I might have got 10 Rand prize money. You kind of want... I do. I want the race to be real. If I'm telling someone they came first, second, and third, I want them to think that they came first, second, and third, and that the guy that came fourth isn't going to think like, no, that's not fair. Okay. Whereas I think the rest, the non-cyclists don't get that to the same degree. So, like, for example, I'm always trying to bin the mixed team thing every year. I'm like,
Really?
oh no, the mixed team is just a cheat fest. Well, I mean, all you do is so this is my version of how a mixed team rides. You hire in.
What was that caveat we were going to put in, that the views expressed in this next part of the video?
No, this is not an official view, but this is my view of what the thinking is in the teams. Okay, you've got to get 6 riders across the line, and it's got to be 3 guys, 3 girls at the finish. But everywhere else it's just 6. So you get 9 guys that are fast, 3 girls who can suck wheel, or don't mind having
just until sector 3, yeah.
or don't mind having hands on their butts pushing them, or like any combination of that works fast. Then you send the 6 guys that are strongest to each checkpoint, and the other 3 guys stay 1 with each girl, slipstream whichever team you feel like slipstreaming, and say, well, we weren't in the front 6, so we don't count. Arrive at the thing, and then it's perfectly within the rules. No one's like, no one's checking.
You just gave like a race winning strategy to the next teams.
No, they do that anyway. So it's like
once you've dropped, you are. I mean, I've drafted having been dropped on multiple occasions.
It's like, well,
if the teams are,
it's like I'm just getting to the thing. I'm not in the way, but actually, you are in the way because you having a rest. So that in
you can bury yourself in sector 2 and 3.
Sector 3, you're going 100%. To So I don't like.
I feel like that doesn't perturb people as much. I know we've been in and had people in the wheels where it's 1s and 2s, and it's like no problem, like whatever. It's if you refueling to be cannon fodder for sector 2 and 3, like Brad, like that's what a vibe.
Yeah.
And sector 2 is the major. Like sector 2 should just be ignored as a part of the rules. I mean, we've seen, not pointing fingers, but it was mother, wait at the exit.
Well, okay.
And as you roll out, like jump in. And we, to be fair, have done it in their cafe races.
In their defense, okay, where the times I've ridden, I have totally done that strategy myself, okay? But I'm coming...
But sector 2 almost doesn't matter. Like sector 2's never decided anything in that race.
Yeah, but if you can sit and do absolutely nothing for 40 Ks, that's a big rest you're having.
Nothing there. I still get dropped in sector 2. I suck wheel and I get dropped hard.
I still think you're getting a good rest in sector 2 if you are not having to pace, and I think that's what that's where I think the last 2 years the King of the Atlantic Seaboard got decided by who did the best wheel sucking in sector 2.
So where do you see the Kings of the Atlantic Seaboard banter playing out? Where do you hear it? Where do you get your...
I don't know, there's various on social. Actually, the place I get it is our marketing department comes to me and says, David, what must I do? These guys are all over us. I'm like, just ride the wave. They're giving you publicity. Enjoy it. These are all having a full go at each other.
So they actually pick that up as well. They do.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
so I have not met a single person that doesn't absolutely love that banter. There are minuscule, singular examples where it was maybe beyond funny, 1 or 2 at most.
I thought it was very funny all the time.
Yeah, almost. Yeah, I'm saying like there's.
Well, maybe if you're on the receiving end.
Yeah, anyone that's watching it will know. Over the last 2 years, there's been like 1 or 2 where it was just like too far. But on the whole part, it's why everyone flippin' loves it. It's because the banter is, and let's be real, Mother are the kings of banter.
Yeah. That's why I was surprised that they managed to win, because I would have given the best banter award.
They have Waldo and the whole of his team to thank for that. He literally dragged them around for 160 Ks. Like, well done, Waldo. But I can't. God, I love it.
It is an amazing event.
So where else do you have a chance to be? I mean, that picture downstairs.
Yeah.
The team came, which you're part of the team, regardless.
Yeah, whether you're in the top 6 or not,
and they came. I've got the screen grab. It's highlighted. Like, I'm legit proud of that result. 5th. There is no race in the world, not even the one where there were only 3 participants last weekend, because I couldn't even finish that I get anywhere near that. And it's like you genuinely feel like you contributed to it, and like you train to it, and that means on the day it's quite serious, and it's like, what else gives you that?
That means you're underperforming the rest of the time.
I am not. I'm realistic the rest of the time. I'm an eternal realist.
No, 5th is bloody good for that thing. And it is good.
whether it was 15th, whether it was 10th, it doesn't matter. Like it's everyone's there bearing, and you feel like you have a chance. And because you're racing, like make no mistake, the LPC, the ECC, the mother guys, I mean, I don't consider anyone across those teams average. Those are flippin' strong cyclists holding, whether they're sitting in Waldo's wheel or not, or whether we're sitting in theirs, it is all just banter.
Yeah.
All that did happen.
Sitting wheels?
It is
surely not.
Still like a major effort. Like you get to that thing and like oaks are buried.
Yeah.
Those three sisters, it's just like a battlefield, just dead bodies.
And that's throughout irrespective of whether you've been burying yourself, even if you've been sucking wheel the whole race, everyone is done at the end.
When I mentioned all those guys that we got in last year, we still lost. We were so confident. We were so cocksure of ourselves. And we got hammered by a team of, like, there were no big names there. I think the most famous person they had there was Dean Hopf, and he's like the eternal has-been. Hey, Dino?
Yeah, but he the people that surprise you are there's a one team of, what's their, Roller Tritons.
Oh.
There's no real cyclists in there.
Oh, but they're triathletes. They're the successive athletes.
No, I know. So but I mean,
they all go for a run after that, huh?
Yeah, they probably do. What, just a marathon?
Yeah, it's just a quick 21.
Yeah. Oh, not even a marathon.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's teams like that you won't see the rest of the year because they're not actually they don't want to do a bunch race, but they're happy to come out. So it's like it brings out a different.
I must say we've got quite a good working relationship with them. I've seen a few of those jerseys.
What is that like in the race?
Those are our Sector 2 buddies for sure. Has anyone there ever considered just separating those teams by bigger margins, or do they?
So
does it matter enough that they think about it?
That's my job, okay?
Or do they want that chaos?
We tried separating them by more, and it was actually worse because there's more chaos going on, and you're checking on the wrong team, and then the 1 year we tried it, the two of the teams actually got into a fist fight.
Gets back to you guys.
They got into a fist fight in the middle of the thing, and there's like he hit me, and like now no one's checking. So it was like, okay, you know what?
Got into a fist fight because of drafting.
I don't know what it was. Probably drafting, I presume. Okay, I don't know. What do you get into a fist fight when you're coming second or third?
Lands back in.
I think it was the teams coming fifth and fourth were like, I don't know. Anyway, the point is, it wasn't good. It's actually better to have the teams close together. They know if you're racing, you're not going to let the oak sit on your wheel because you're going to tell them to bugger off. So then it's fine. And if some other ARB in 80th place is sitting your wheel, well, you're not going to care. So it's kind of self-policing that way, and it's more manageable.
Also, if they started them at the same time, I'd love to see that.
Well, I think trying to get them to ride next to each other might be just a little bit.
Well, at least then you'd see from the start.
Jeez, I don't know. It's like, no, then I think there would be a fist fight because you want to go through the corner. It would be like Oxford versus Cambridge boat race.
I don't know. The majority of those people actually like each other. That's the bizarre thing.
So I've worked on the basis that the closer together you can put them, the easier it is. Because you've got a commissaire as well. So the commissaire, how's he going to watch teams that are far apart? He needs to actually, so at least with the all close, the ones that are in contention, he can just zoop up and down on the motorbike, check. Yeah, good. Yeah.
Has anyone ever been DQ'd for drafting? To your knowledge?
Jeez, I'm trying to think. No, I don't think so. I'm trying to think whether we even excluded someone.
Has anyone ever even...
We might have done a time penalty for drafting. But,
is that the official... What is the official punishment?
No, it's like...
I actually don't even know.
You can get disqualified. But I mean, it'll ultimately be up to the commissaire. So in the racing groups, we got a CSA official there.
Yeah.
It's Dennis. He's like...
I love Dennis.
Dennis is cool. He's like...
I have been cut off by Dennis once.
And Dennis is chilled when he's at the DC because he's like, this is a nice away weekend for me. So you oaks race nicely. Okay. I want to enjoy my weekend.
Dennis is such an OG.
And then he'll, then he's good. Then he's good with the whole thing. And but yeah, he can. If he's only got like 4 teams to watch and they're starting fairly close together.
I didn't know that he was the commissaire. That's great to know. I'm going to lean into that. I've got a great rapport with Dennis.
So Yeah, he doesn't. Some years he stays in the operations center and sends 3 others out, but
just let me know where he is so I can send some treats over to his place. Just, any good favor I can get out on our most important day of the year.
I think Dennis is uncorruptible.
No, he is. I've had an 8 cuck from him, and I learned a lot from it at the Tour de Cap.
Yeah.
Long story, I won't get into it, but I'm so glad it happened. It's now like, and I know this Dennis guy.
I've tried to like sometimes go, geez, that's going to be a lot of work. I wonder if I can just like, if we just like don't apply that rule. Dennis is like, David,
down the line.
it's not how it works.
Yeah.
Oh, damn it.
Dennis. Do you know the rumor mill has gone extremely wild this year that Mother are not going to be attending the race?
What? Why not?
Quit while you're ahead, while you're at the top. Yeah.
I mean, they would need to prove that not defend. They would need to prove that the no slipstreaming that they did last year was in fact no slipstreaming by repeating the performance.
I think it's very important that we create a lot of social pressure around them not rocking up on the day. My personal view is that this is all them building hype. I can't believe they would ever disrespect such an important race to the extent they wouldn't arrive.
No, that's old. In fact, I think I would actually, if they don't pitch up, I think I'm just going to DQ their result from last year. Just going to
for eternity.
Yeah, and it's unacceptable.
Yeah,
unacceptable. We rely on that Banter, the Kings of the Atlantic Seaboard, is required.
Have you seen that meme account?
Oh,
the one that rips off all.
Yeah.
And still, no one knows who that is. You know that?
What?
No one knows the person behind that account. It's called Not Your Cycling Friends, but it's known as the meme account.
I think Brendan knows who it is.
He doesn't.
No, he must know.
Brendan Stevens doesn't know who it is.
No, come on.
I have gone to great lengths to try and find anyone that knows anyone. I've been told.
I'll corner him and
I've been
torture him.
accused of being it, which obviously I'm not. Dean Hopf was pretty seriously accused. I think they even took his phone, restrained him, logged into his Instagram to see if you could like switch between profiles. No, it's gotten him. I mean, that's hearsay. I don't know if that actually happened. Dean, please confirm.
Yeah,
but it's been. I mean, it's just what else in the year has that sort of gears and banter. I don't think.
No. I mean, it is next level, and it's not just DC is not. I mean, there's you guys, but I think there's loads of teams that go there. It's like a big weekend away. Deal. Like,
we had Infinity, the founders of Infinity Cycling Club, the other day. They're a 60, 70 member strong, properly run, organized, club. And their story, Brendan's also, I was hearing it for the first time sitting there with him a week ago. They all have a similar script, which is we started out as a DC team that became a community, in the case of Savage, in the case of them, a full-on club. Now that club is established, it has social rides, it has an impact in its community, it brings and exposes other people to cycling, and it's, if no DC, that wouldn't exist. So it's not just the banter of that race. Like, so they are responsible for creating entire communities that rally around that at the end of the year.
The DC is the one. So I mean, we've discussed how events are less and numbers are down, and although I say there's more people riding, the DC is the one event that continues to grow. It's like every year.
We're so special.
We always have this fight with with the entire rest of the office. They're like, when we need to close the entries as soon as we get to whatever. And I was like, and then if one more team asks you to join, what are you going to do? We'll discuss it.
Yeah.
Oh, can't you just leave the entries open and then I don't have to discuss it? They can just go online and enter.
If Mother haven't entered and need a late entry, I think they could make an exception.
I think like maybe at like the exceptional corporate rate, which is like $100,000 a team. I think, and we'll give them like all the bells and whistles.
You obviously don't know what their kit costs. That's like just one set of
shorts. That's a ridiculous thing. Is like the DC is not. It's not a cheap race to enter compared to the Cape Epic, it's cheap. But I mean, compared to your average fun ride, it's expensive, and yet the amount
I don't even know what it costs.
The amount of
I don't even think about it.
It's just over.
Take my money.
It's just over $1,000 per rider, so it's like
it's not cheap.
So but the amount of money that gets thrown at, like, you don't see, in the early days, you would see teams like Six Oaks or Seven Oaks would rock up together with their mates and they'd just ride along. Now, if you don't have the same kit, well,
sacrilege.
Just like, do not come to this
Do not
event.
go to DC.
What are you doing here?
I had to buy a black helmet in the year that I did it for the first time. I was like, the guys were like, why choose white socks, black helmets, I think it was. I was like, guys, I don't have a black helmet.
You better get one.
Brendan's response, I don't know Brendan yet
then.
And his response was, just responded to that and said, yet. I'm actually, this guy's joking. You weren't really expecting to buy a black helmet for just this race.
Oh, yes.
And he did. And I bought a black helmet, John O'Connor, the day before.
Yeah.
Then he saw a saddlebag on my bike. He's like, oh, cute. Look, someone, as a joke, attached a saddlebag to your bike. And you forgot to take it off. Is this guy being for real? I don't know. So I took the saddlebag off. And he's like, now we're getting somewhere. That's...
Where are you going to put that? In the backup vehicle. We don't have a backup vehicle.
What do you need that for? Don't you have pockets in your jersey? It's like, I know you do because I supplied it to you.
Yeah. No, it is next level, that event.
Will you, what is your role on the day at an event like that? Are you there? Are you back office? Are you on the road?
So, well, I used to, I mean, now that Finish Time does the timing, I don't specifically have a role on the day. I suppose my role on the day is make sure the prize giving gets done correctly. I think that's it. I need to check the results, go with Dennis and like, okay, is this right? Who's arguing? What is their case? Is it valid?
You get quite a bit of that, I imagine.
Oh, yeah. So
last year, not so much, because those guys won by such a margin. It was not even...
Yeah, but it's first, second, third. You got to, like, it's all three. And then, so it's also making sure that the mixed and the women's ones, so actually, I mean, part of it is putting them in the right part of the field that there's not going to be a bun fight. So the women I try to put slightly further earlier so that they kind of get to Montague. They've caught everyone as they get to Montague. And then from there on, they're in the front. And then the men's must just crawl through everyone. And the mistake, actually 2 years ago, the Kings of Atlantic Seaboard competition was, I think it was my fault because the ECC, I think it was them that won 2 years ago, I think. They, them and... Also, not one, sorry. They were third overall.
They won the Kotas, which is
yes,
what...
They won
no one cares who wins the race.
Yeah. Okay, so, okay, yes, they won. Okay. Them and the first mixed team ended up together and they both thought like, well, hey, we're the strongest here, so we're both racing. So it wasn't like they even had to do an organized thing. It was like, well, we're going hard. No, we're going hard. It was like they were just...
Well, that's the problem. When you are trying to drop, those teams are so evenly matched across the Kotas. You can't.
So now I've moved the mixed teams go earlier so that anyone that's in contention for anything overall is not going to see... You're not going to see a mixed team.
Pretty serious banter in the mixed teams of Savage even.
Yeah, so the
proper banter.
If the mixed teams are in amongst the
they'll
racing
be
teams,
moved further up so that the men's teams don't catch them.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
if
challenge accepted.
No, if the men's team do catch them, well, then they weren't worth catch. That's my theory. And whenever you see a person,
you've made up that much time, you're not drafting.
I've always had this thing in a race if you see a person in front of you and you catch up to them, then they probably weren't worth catching up to. Because unless they were in a bunch that you were with and you like getting back to the peloton, anyone else that you catch was like, you're always disappointed when you get there.
I am so eager to see it. The seeding is almost as exciting as the day.
So my
they should do a draw. They should make like a big theatrical thing out of it where it's like for the last 20 seeded teams.
So but seriously, for the last, so the top 10 is a bit of a negotiation, to be honest. Okay. Like the team that won last year will want to go. Like the teams that came first, second, and third think it is their God-given right to go last, second last, and third last.
Surely it is though.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if it like I don't know, if
I suppose
Tour de
Super
France
team
riders,
comes in.
Then what are you going to say to them? So no, the answer is no.
Seeding.
They can start fourth last.
Got you.
So there's that, and then but I will try as much as I possibly can. I'll try to get everyone in perfect reverse order, apart from the racing mixed teams and the racing women's teams.
Which would mean
so that everyone
mother is
merges.
Behind us.
Yeah.
Because
they say that they're better than you.
We lost them by like a second last year.
Well, you're probably not going to get only 1 second. You'll probably get... I know, your
gaps
there are around
I'm trying to think what we what we lost to them by last year. It was tight though. It was flipping tight. Like no one was sure. Like, is this result like? You know, who do we talk to?
That's the other thing. Is
this the result?
One person's chip is misread, then it can affect that result. So that's the thing. That's actually the thing I most panic about on the day. Is like has a sixth rider's chip misread? Because then I'll go like, oh shit, okay, that's making 2 minutes difference. No, they're actually ahead.
No, you don't want that anxiety.
So I've got to.
No.
I have to do on the day. I'm like, okay, I don't care how you're doing the results when they go on the internet. Just for me, tell me this answer.
I wonder how inclined Old Mutual would be to set up a COTUS prize giving just for shits and giggles.
I don't know. I mean, it's worth an ask. You know,
that would be hilarious.
So the one thing that has to be done different this year is that the prize giving is, so you know, the stage that where you had the photo. So it's there, but we don't use it because we do the prize giving in the tent.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be in the beer tent.
No, I mean, that's getting abandoned this year.
No,
you can't hear the prize giving in the beer tent because everyone's pissed.
Yeah, but then you're not going to have anyone at the prize giving if it's not in the beer tent.
No, the people who actually want to go to the prize giving will go and cheer, but you can't. All that happens at the prize giving, everyone goes, shut up, we're doing the prize giving. What? Then you're like, I'm in the middle of a conversation with my mates and you're just like,
yeah.
No, the prize giving is going to be nice and looking good on the stage, so you'll be able to get good pics for the prize giving without beer swilling in the background.
Oh, then we've got to make sure we get onto it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's our responsibility. David, it's been so like a chatting. I feel like I could have another 3 coffees and do this for hours on end.
Oh, we dream up another topic. You'll have to get other Dave Belair to get his version. He'll tell you all the things I told you were lies.
I'm hoping he's very triggered by what we discussed and he's like, no, I need to get on there and come to the records.
It's absolute rubbish.
I'd very much like to have him and many others here. I mean, I think the community gains a lot from listening to those that are a smidge older and wiser. Because we all want cycling to grow. I mean, to maintain is idiotic. Who aims to just be the same? Like, we want it to grow and expand, and everyone's a little bit stumped as to how they do that. I think a lot of these break-off clubs and events and groups and, you know, Southside Cycles and Let's Ride clubs you maybe haven't even heard of, they've got 30, 40, 50, 60 in a group that got every weekend. So they aren't necessarily fun rides, but there's these communities happening.
Yeah, but I don't think it's all bad.
Do you know where they get together?
Where?
The only time in there you'll see all those groups together is DC.
But that's why I think it's not
important.
It's not that bad. Like, the people think that the events are doing badly, but DC proves that there are people still riding and in bigger volumes than they think. That's why I think when I go and when
events organizers need to look at that and say that there's room to run an event that can have longevity, a long-standing title sponsor that gets value repeatedly and can make money.
So I think there's 2 levels of events, and that's possibly where a discussion for another day. But the events like the DC where you're running, and Cape Epic, where you're paying good money to ride it not to ride at an elite level, but the event is operated at an elite level.
Yeah.
We need more of those.
Yeah.
Because those ones can do well.
Yeah.
I mean, Cape Epic
and do well. Yeah.
Is actually quite a recent event, and it is like it has formed and succeeded in the period where the cycle tour has declined. So it's not it's a different type of event, and it's been successful. I think we need more of those types of events, and then possibly at the same time just need some kind of basic simple kind of event to plug all the gaps. It doesn't try to make money and just
it's community oriented.
Just gets people out there. But even Strava does that in many ways. It's actually getting people out there. So it's not.
There's enough mechanisms. There's enough technology. That barrier is gone.
Yeah.
I think that the barrier that remains is someone with political means and will to say, and community means and will, whatever. It doesn't have to be political. But it kind of does need to be, because it's dangerous. Like you need a road closed, and it's got to be, if it's in the interest of Cape Townians in this instance, because it's Cape Town, it should be in the interest of politicians to say it's important to a community to go and do this stuff. It's not just people that think they're serious cyclists in spandex. It's like there's a community impact.
Yeah.
And make it happen.
There's quite a few people that'll be very passionate about that angle of things, who know a whole lot more than me. Can suggest that you get on here and have that discussion.
Send them.
Yeah.
Send them. It's at my present day mission, and it's the fire that burns in my chest. If we can make one little thing happen at a time, like why not?
Absolutely.
The more of us that shout and scream, the better. Yeah. Well, I see you at DC. You there? In the flesh?
I have. I'm still trying to finalize my team, which is different to my normal team. Okay. My normal team's doing a mountain bike weekend this year, so they want to do a
sacrilege.
There's
like so many other weekends. Why that one?
No, not on that same weekend.
Oh, okay.
But then I've got a different group of mates that I've been promising for about 4 years that I'll come ride with them, and each year I'm like, no.
So this is the year.
I'm like, okay.
Do you have matching kits?
I'm actually coming. There's a few things. There's a few things we got to sort out because it's a new team, so I need to
kit, white socks, matching helmet,
black helmet,
minimum,
same color. What color are the shoes? White, I presume.
White. Well, it depends. If you want extra white socks, white shoes.
I've noticed that's the.
I don't wear anything that isn't white.
Yeah,
that's as idiotic as that is. That's
white socks, white shoes. Definitely the in kit at the moment.
I'm colorblind, so that's my justification. I can see that color. Jarman, good luck for DC.
Okay, no, good luck for you too.
Thank you.
I think you're taking it a little bit faster and more serious than me.
I am going to bury myself out there. It is the single most important ride of the year to me. So yeah, I'd be completely lying if I said it wasn't C for serious.
Great. It's great to see that level of enthusiasm.
Yeah.
I love it.
I'll still probably be dropped and not see up Trudeau or any of those things, but that doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Time to get back at the checkpoint and contribute.
Well, you've given me a race-winning strategy, so I just need to figure out how I get around that seating. And
just send me an email. I think I know a guy.
Yeah. Oh, the email's coming. Drafted. Just needed the name to put in on the 2 parts.
No, I think you're done now.
Dave, thanks for coming through.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Pleasure. It's been great.
Welcome anytime. What's ours is yours, and hopefully we see you out on the road, and more importantly, for a beer in the tent afterwards.
Oh, definitely. Looking forward to it.
And
thanks.
Insights and.
Been great being here. Thanks very much.
Cheers.
Okay, cheers.